Yo, what is up, Bitcoiners? So, I like to think that I'm a positive guy. I like to think that I have a glass half full kind of vibe. Um, I'm a I'm a happy-go-lucky kind of person, and I generally just kind of go with the flow of things. All that being said, today's episode, we're going to talk about how hard it is being a Bitcoin miner. 2024 was an incredible year. So much happened. We saw the halving reduce our block reward from 6.25 to 3.125 or something like that. We saw 100K. We saw the anti-crypto army just destroy and attack Bitcoin. And we saw the lowest hash value we've ever seen. Needless to say, so much has happened. It's been an insanely wild ride. There's been a recent report from Digital Mining Solutions and BitcoinMiningstock.io that kind of highlights all of the different rubrics of what happened last year. And we're going to kind of dive into it just a little bit. I'm going to talk about some of the pitfalls that Bitcoin miners have had over the last year, and then also some of the successes, and then we'll end it off with a little bit of a white pill, helping people understand, like, if you want to be a Bitcoin miner, what's the best way to start that journey. With all that said, let's get into the show. So welcome to Channel 256. I'm your Bitcoin and Freedom Maxi host, Trevor. Each day during the week, I dive into current events. We touch on everything from the political winds of change to how profitable or unprofitable Bitcoin mining is, and everything in between. There is never a dull day in Bitcoin, and I hope to entertain and enlighten you in about the time that it takes to get your cup of coffee in the morning. You guys know the drill. We're going to start off with the mining metrics for Wednesday, January 8th. Over here looking at my Clark Moody's dashboard, at the time of recording, our block height is 878,355. The total network hash rate is 787.9 exahash, and the daily hash value is $56.13. We hit the all-time high of 108,280 on December 17th, 2024. And we are currently sitting at about 95,760. The last difficulty change was a 1.2% adjustment upwards, and in 621 blocks, retarget date set to January 12th, we'll have an estimated difficulty change of negative 2%. Now, the fee rate is 3 sats per VByte. Before we get into our current event for the day, Channel 256 is proudly brought to you by Bitcoin Mining World. Bitcoin Mining World is more than a mining equipment supplier. We're educators and advocates for the next generation of Bitcoin miners. Through training programs, boot camps, and a growing network of miners, we're decentralizing the network and fostering a thriving ecosystem where everyone can succeed. Every purchase supports our mission to empower miners and build a stronger, more resilient Bitcoin network. Let's mine the future together. So in 2024, the Bitcoin mining industry experienced unprecedented growth, with the network hash rate increasing by approximately 300 exahash, surpassing the 600, 700, and even 800 exahash thresholds within the same year. By December, the network reached an all-time high of 808 exahash, representing a 56.7% increase from the previous year. This surge is attributed to the extensive facility expansions and the adoption of new ASIC models offering superior efficiency. However, the 2024 halving event, which reduced the Bitcoin block subsidy from 6.25 to 3.125, exerted additional pressure on miners, compelling many to enhance operational efficiency to maintain profitability. Despite these advancements, miners face challenges, including profit margin constraints that led to temporary pullbacks in hash rate deployment. The halving event further intensified the need for efficiency improvements to sustain operations. Overall, 2024 was a pivotal year for Bitcoin mining, marked by significant technological progress and operational hurdles. All right, so before I give you guys my take and some of the pieces of advice I have for anybody who's inside the mining industry right now, I want to tell you about the Mastermind Club. January is all about the heat punks in the Mastermind Club. Join us this Friday, January 10th, for a deep dive into the heat reuse opportunities that Bitcoin mining opens up. Presented by Ryan Ramminger, CEO and founder of CryoByte Labs, you'll learn about the many different use cases that hash rate heating presents. You'll also learn how the cooling solution you choose plays a significant role in your efficiency and productivity. As a final note to our audience, you guys will get a chance to win a CryoBlock hybrid cooling upgrade kit for an S19 series miner. Don't miss out on this incredible deep dive brought to you by Bitcoin Mining World, the Mastermind Club, and CryoByte Labs. Again, that is this Friday, January 10th at 10 a.m. Central. Go to the link at the bottom of your screen or in the show notes to sign up. Okay, so there's no doubt that the Bitcoin network saw a series of significant events happen in 2024. We had the halving. We finally went over 100K. Several machines came onto the market. The hash price dropped to a record low. Mid-generation mining machines lost over 90% of their value. And we saw the network hash rate grow to the highest it's ever been. I think it's needless to say that it was an intense roller coaster with ups and downs for everyone. But the Bitcoin miners felt it most of all, as they generally do. Halving years are the hardest for miners. Your revenue is guaranteed to be cut in half. And if you're not looking for every way to become more efficient and operate in a leaner capacity, then surely you're going to suffer. You see, Bitcoin miners rely on several factors to manage their operations and come out ahead. These factors include the cost of electricity, the hash price, the cost of their equipment and infrastructure, and the price of Bitcoin. There's some other factors as well, but these are the factors that play the most pivotal role in the success or demise of your Bitcoin mining operation. Unfortunately, as an operator, none of these factors are within your control, and you're limited in the ways that you can respond to increases or decreases in any of these factors. As our network grows and more miners come onto the network, the amount of Bitcoin to go around gets smaller and smaller. In order to combat this, you need to grow. You can either invest in more efficient and larger miners, or you can expand your current operations. However, each of these comes with risks and trade-offs. There's no guarantee that you're going to get the new equipment at a reasonable price. And what happens when your S21 units get stopped at the border and held there for months, like they did just a couple of months ago? You can also expand your operation with older models, but this is like fixing a broken leg with a Band-Aid. Your OpEx will increase due to the increase in electricity usage, and they are still outdated miners, which means they're not as efficient and they use up more electricity. All that being said, I don't think I have to tell you that Bitcoin mining is not for the faint of heart. It's not a passive endeavor, no matter what anybody tells you. If someone tells you that Bitcoin mining is a passive endeavor, they're lying to you. If you want to join the network and be part of the revolution, you're going to need to be smart and quick to respond to changes. That's not to say that you can't be a Bitcoin miner. Many people have found success and created business models that work and are profitable. But at the same time, many businesses have failed and gone belly up. I'd say, in fact, more businesses have failed than have succeeded. So my piece of advice to anyone who wants to get into Bitcoin mining: do your research. This is probably the most important part. We hear this all the time in Bitcoin. Do your own research. Go out and learn. Put your 1,000 hours in. Educate yourself somehow, some way. If you don't have a proper understanding of how the business operates, then you're likely to fail. And this goes for any business that you're going to run and that you want to build. If you don't know the proper inputs and outputs, how are you supposed to build a profitable business? With Bitcoin mining, the best thing you can do is buy the best machines at the best price you can get and not over leverage yourself. But there's a little bit of nuance to this bit. You can buy decent machines at a decent price in a bear market, but the price of Bitcoin will be low and it may be hard to acquire that equipment because you don't have the capital on hand to make the purchase. But when the price of Bitcoin is high and you have the capital, Bitcoin miners will have also increased in value, making it more difficult to acquire the same amount of hash rate. Like I said, man, mining is a tough business. And if you're not willing to break a few eggs, you're not going to get that omelet, if you know what I mean. In order to build a successful mining business, you have to be a strange blend of smart and tough. It's like you need to have an understanding of the network and how it operates while knowing the core business model that you're running. You'll also need to be able to withstand significant reductions in your revenue while your operational and capital expenses go up. At the end of the day, mining isn't for everyone, and it sure as hell isn't passive. But if you're like me, and you want to participate in this network, help decentralize the space, and secure the Bitcoin that you already own, then maybe Bitcoin mining could work for you. There are many different ways to get into Bitcoin mining. I myself, I'm not an industrial miner. I'm just a pleb. I'm out here mining in my home wherever heat can be reused. And I sometimes have to eat the cost of buying more expensive equipment or higher electricity rates. Like I said, it's not for everyone, but it can be for you depending on your situation and depending on the amount of work that you're willing to put in. My biggest piece of advice, I said it before, but you need to make sure you get educated. There are plenty of places where you can put your 1,000 hours in, and it's vital. It is absolutely vital to your success as a Bitcoin miner. However you define your success, it is absolutely vital that you get educated. Whether you do training programs or watch YouTube videos or go to our mastermind club, like however it is that you get educated, you need to make sure that you understand the Bitcoin mining network. You understand the inputs and the outputs. Because if you don't have a good understanding, you don't know how Bitcoin mining works, you don't know how the cost of electricity and the cost of these Bitcoin miners play into your profitability, and then also how the hash price, other global factors play into this, then you're going to fail. And that's not what we want. We at Bitcoin Mining World especially want you to succeed. And that's why we provide our training programs. That's why we provide the boot camps. That's why we do a free mastermind club, so that you can get that information and you can start your journey off on the right foundation and build a stronger business. Because when you build a stronger Bitcoin mining business, you are helping the entire network. It's not just you that benefits from building a strong, robust Bitcoin mining operation. The entire network succeeds. The most important thing is to make sure that you, as an operator, have everything you need and understand all the inputs and outputs before you decide to take the leap, beat yourself over the back, and start a Bitcoin mining operation. So if you're curious about any of the programs that we have, the boot camps, the training programs, the mastermind club, or if you just want to talk about Bitcoin mining and your situation and whether or not it's a feasible option for you, reach out to me. Trevor at bitcoinminingworld.com. I'd love to chat. I'd love to sit there and kind of go over your situation, your cost of electricity, and start running down some of these numbers for you to give you a better picture of whether or not Bitcoin mining could be for you. With that, that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning into Channel 256 News. This broadcast was brought to you by Bitcoin Mining World and the Mastermind Club. If you liked what you saw, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe for more content. I'm your host, Trevor Bello, and I'll see you tomorrow for another update. Until then, remember to stay grounded, keep educating yourself, and constantly grow. A quick reminder that Channel 256 News is for education and informational purposes only. All opinions are my own and not those of Bitcoin Mining World or its affiliates. Please do your own research and speak to a professional before making any investment decisions.